MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by This Grain of Sand.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. And we are back in that corner of the MaJaMaverse, our beloved Trite Nite, as we take out a dead horse and viciously flog it. But before that, welcome to the couch. If you haven't done so already, please click the subscribe button. We got new stuff coming out for you guys every week. Drop a comment, drop a like, send us a death threat, do something that interacts. The algorithm, where did Instagram come from? Where was that pulled from?
Instagram.
The algorithm is destroying us. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Welcome back. We are kicking this off of this month by aping the release of Jurassic World Rebirth by going into a chapter that was much maligned, specifically by me, watching it for the second time and seeing if it was as bad as we thought.
It was maligned by us too.
It was maligned by them too. But I feel like I've been really mouthy about this one, and today we'll see if I need to walk back any of those comments or if it's right on the money.
I get it.
So Jurassic World Dominion is the third entry in the Jurassic World franchise, completing a...
Is the sixth entry.
It's the sixth entry in the franchise, the third one of the new trilogy. What is it about, other than 2.5 hours? After surviving the eruption which destroyed Isla Nublar, Owen Grady and Claire Deering took in young Maisie Lockwood, that little bitch from the last movie. When she goes missing, Owen and Claire set out to find her and eventually confront Louis Dodgson, owner of global biotech giant Biosyn Genetics. And then, for whatever reasons, there are big locusts, familiar faces, and Owen now knows how to strangle a dinosaur. So, my main gripe going into this, that I said incessantly when this trilogy was brought up, is that this movie has perhaps what is one of the best pitches I've ever heard in my life, which, true to the titular name is redundant, true to its name, Jurassic World, we were now going to see what would happen if it actually was a Jurassic World, and the same way you might be driving through a country road and see a bear, or just see a deer running across, or might see a coyote here at night, you might see a triceratops.
You don't see bears on the side of the road.
Sometimes you do, if there's a picnic basket nearby.
The fastest way I know to get a picnic basket.
Now, that is one of the best things I've heard since the original concept of Michael Crichton of what if there was a Jurassic amusement park. Amazing. Now, to its credit, the opening 5 minutes of this are a fake Now This article, which I feel like nails it. 100% A+, nails the intro to what I would assume that movie would be. And then even after that, because you said the 10-minute mark is when we meet Maisie, and it starts to kind of Even after that, we get some dino action scenes. I don't mind Claire breaking the dinos out of the thing. Cute little, was it Triceratops she's saving?
It's impossible to know the species. There are so many different variations. We called them Triceratops growing up, but there's like 10, 20 different ones.
Cute thing with horns.
No.
So... if you were to show me, as they did with the campground scene, they showed as a preview where the T-Rex invades the campground, if you were to show me the first 10 minutes of this and what you were going to do, I would be like, guys, I saw the first 10 minutes, we are in good hands, then now this is the perfect way to show what's going on in the world, great gimmick, looks like we're going into it. Now, to be fair, we'll see what the guys think, but I perhaps was a little harsh and both not a little harsh. The stuff that I hate is still there. The whole Maisie storyline I couldn't care about. I think it's weird that we damn near center our movie around a genetic girl that they created. The stuff with Biosyn and Dodgson is, whatever. And I gripe the fact that with the gorgeous Jurassic World concept, we essentially put our heroes back into a tight facility where things are going wrong, to not horrifically Xerox the first movie in the way, let's say, The Hangover 2 just completely aped its own script. But again, to kind of be business as usual.
What?
But having said all that, there are more dinosaur scenes than I remember. To be fair, actually a lot more than I remember, because I always talk about the sparsity.
Well, I mean, it's Jurassic Park.
But that's the thing, is in my memory, it was nothing but Locust and Side Story
That's
and
because
Maisie.
the stuff we hated took precedence.
Well, Mateo made a very good point, and I'm always interested in different watches, watching under different circumstances, second
Once a
watches.
Once a year.
You know, a buddy at work told me once the very simple quote that Martin Scorsese said, you haven't really seen a movie until you've seen it twice.
You don't have friends.
Such a simple quote.
Scorsese was talking about Jurassic World 3 Dominion?
And it stuck with me because how many normal people will just go to see a movie, never see it again, and form their opinion on it? Very interesting quote. But I think this time that...
He's just trying to get extra ticket sales.
There's
Same thing Tommy said about The Room.
That's actually very funny.
Is The Room for everyone?
No, definitely not. As an American, I like to recommend to all Americans to see The Room at the theater, and at least twice.
The reason for it is because you cannot get it the first time.
So, I always said that I remember are we in Italy? I don't freaking know. Is it in Italy?
Malta, yes.
The motorcycle chase through the city, I remember saying, even the first time after being disappointed, that one ratcheted up. The movie came to life. I enjoyed it. I'm going to double down on that here. I actually found the motorcycle chase very exciting, great action scene.
Did that lady, the weird lady with the almond head, did she die?
No, they arrest her.
Freeze!
And we don't see what
He
happens
is
to
under
her?
arrest, the guy from the island.
Arrested.
The
She
French
just
guy.
points at the pointer at Owen. That's the last we see her.
She would have been a satisfying death to see.
Yeah. Instead,
Maybe they're going to bring her back for the sequel.
We don't get a lot of close-up gore
We
shots.
see a lot of her face. It's very weird.
We get
The proportions of where her eyes and cheekbones are,
Yep.
it's very,
it's kind of a genuinely weird face.
yeah.
Or to be generous, a unique one, if we wanted to be very soft and kind. But that motorcycle chase, I feel like the same thing as our Now This opening is actually A+. I think it's exciting. I love the
Despite the
fact...
dude just chilling on the scooter.
Hey! If it's a cool dino death, I'm for it. That's the
at
least
least-
of our problems.
If you put like headphones or
Maybe he had them.
Yeah.
You can't say this
Maybe.
earbuds. It's 2022 in this movie.
maybe.
That scene is great.
What?
That scene's great.
No, it's 2022?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
I just can't track time anymore.
Everything post 2020 is a smudge. What? So I would say I arrive at a still kind of blah, but better than I've been speaking about it. What say you guys?
You didn't say what my good point was.
Oh, sorry, that the fact that, forgive me, I got lost. I kind of did. The point is that Mateo
that
said,
all the
I think
time.
this is a movie when you hate it less the second time because you've already got the vicious disappointment of what it's going to be.
Yes.
Similar to our good buddy Josh Sesenia, who's maybe watching this, loves to find out the plot beforehand, so he kind of does a facsimile of that second viewing where you can enjoy yourself more and get lost in the movie, which I usually find insane, but I get more when I do enjoy the second time. I just don't want to lose the virgin viewing. But I think Mateo's right. I think knowing how viciously disappointed I was softened me to it.
The stakes of your anticipation are
The
removed.
stakes are medium rare. What say you guys? What did you think second time around?
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Three though.
Thredo?
Wow, this is so trippy.
It's not...
I hated it a lot less.
Sometimes it's interesting, you in movie nerd, you know, they always talk about the movie nerds incessantly online hating stuff when they don't do anything for their lives. Legit, I kind of had an experience during it that I was like, oh crap, I want to hate this more. I said I hated it so much, and it was almost like a
Well,
little...
when you brought up the point of comparing this to how they treated bringing back the original trio from Star Wars into the sequels, we never get Han, Luke, and Leia in one scene together on screen. I don't believe so.
No, it never happens that the three of them are together there.
So to actually have the new cast...
Especially because in the first one, Luke is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, we see him at the end only,
Yeah,
right?
we have, there is one quick scene between Han and Leia, and that's it.
My God.
Well, Matthew, that's actually a great unintentional segue into the other thing I wanted to talk about,
Jesus.
which was...
Tail, you need to look out for these things. Let me know if I'm going in that direction. Steer me.
We need an alarm or something here that tells us no.
audience
We're almost
reception.
done.
Now, anyone who spent even 2.5 seconds with me know I'm very obsessed with what Rotten Tomatoes allows us to study about how the public and critics takes in movies. I'm not saying it's ironclad truth. Could be flaws in how they calculate those percentages. But I think for nerddom...
You literally said
geek
all
outs
those things
like
before
this,
we started filming.
for nerddom geek outs like this, I think it's very interesting.
Honestly, Ian, that's bullshit.
Because I recently rewatched Jurassic World, and I think Jurassic World, similar to our Star Wars trilogy, the first entries are actually pretty kick-ass. They may be a little Xeroxed, although not entirely, because Jurassic World, the concept is the park is actually open, which I believe justifies its existence. The entire point was a Jurassic Park. It was never opened. So great. And Force Awakens goes down smooth despite the Xeroxing, the effect intensified by what would come after it. So Jurassic World, high critic, high audience score. Now here's what I find interesting when we get to Fallen Kingdom.
Please share, man. We're dying.
Which perhaps this will be a discussion of both of the latter entries.
Maybe.
Fallen Kingdom
Maybe not.
has crappy audience scores and crappy critic scores. They're almost exactly the same, right? Now, in my mind, I always thought Fallen Kingdom's got the volcano scene, it's objective high action, it's a little jumbled.
I don't remember the volcano
I hated
scene.
Dominion, so how could you not forget the volcano scene?
You mean the Brachiosaurus dying on the pier?
That's part of what the action
Oh, okay.
flames
That's
bring.
why the island gets blown.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of...
I remember.
It seems rare that the critics and audience both hate something. It seems like that's always out of whack. So I was very surprised to see
once
them
again,
both
compare
low
this to Last Jedi.
for Fallen Kingdom. Last Jedi has insane critical scores. They love it. It's 90%. They love the
What?
fact they did something differently. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it interesting to discuss Rotten Tomatoes scores? Yeah, Last Jedi is critically beloved.
It's not.
Very low down audience score. And I was almost going to make the complete congruent comparison that the middle chapter split people, but it seems like, at least according to the data, everyone hated Fallen Kingdom, and Last Jedi was critically loved. Perhaps they love when people take chances and fans are lying. As we said, they don't. They want the same old schlop. Brings us to Dominion. Talking to another buddy, shout out Christian if you happen to be watching this, probably because I forced the episode upon you, desperate to get people to watch it.
These aren't real
But
people's
he's a
names.
big Jurassic Park fan, and he said, look, I know they both suck, but I just couldn't help the nostalgia of seeing the original three back together did it for me. Now, when we go to the Rotten Tomatoes of Dominion, critics had an all-time low of 26, but audience has gone back up from the abysmal ones of Fallen Kingdom to 79, meaning that I feel like everyone talks about nostalgia baiting and how everything is just pandering to the friggin' old
You talk a
fans
lot about baiting.
and getting it back. In this case, I think it actually worked 1,000%. How else do you describe that complete uptick in scores? Or watching it today, is it better than Fallen Kingdom, which Mateo says just kind of splits in the middle and is a jumbled mess? Or are both of these just kind of weird, mediocre crap and Jurassic World got it right and should have called it quits there? Hit me with it.
Oh, that was a question.
That was a question.
I have
To them, not you. Wait for them. No, what do you think? No, what do you think?
I haven't seen Fallen Kingdom in a while. I think I probably only saw it in theaters, but I remember not being. I don't know.
That's correct. And Mateo, how about you?
As I told you, I think the Fallen Kingdom has the same structure of Hancock. It should have ended with the destruction of Island Blar, and then they attached another movie. And it goes to the auction of the dinosaurs, and then the alien, almost the dinosaur in the house, creeping left and right. And I don't know, it looks that it was too much, especially on the fact that it ends with the little girl saying,
I had to. They're alive. Like me.
I set them free. And then you have basically a trailer for the following Jurassic World, and you don't get that
Well, you know, as you break that down,
in this movie.
Yeah.
another one of the things we talked about is that a buddy was like, hey man, the second half of Fallen Kingdom turns into a haunted house movie with dinosaurs. And I was like, I want
to love that.
Yes, I want to be like, you're right, that's amazing. It makes me think of when you broke it down, this trilogy is actually pretty ripe with interesting, good ideas on paper. If you think about it, Jurassic Park, the park never got open. What if we did a movie where it's fully functioning like a Disney World and then the things start to go haywire? Oh, well, what if in the
Things are going to go wrong again?
Here we go again.
Again.
And then in the second one, there's the island where they were stored at. You know, it's not necessarily new, but we have to go rescue the stowaways there. And then, it's actually going to turn into an auction where they're in a house. So what? It's like a creepy haunted house, but a dinosaur's doing it. Oh, and then this cloned girl who was like a dinosaur.
Why are you acting so surprised?
Releases them into the wild, and it becomes a Jurassic World. Like, if someone pitched me all that, I'd be like, you guys are cooking up some great stuff here on paper.
That's great.
All of that is a pretty good. I would not be mad at any of that on a pitch meeting.
And it's different than what you did in the original trilogy.
Yes, also that.
And more, there's a connected flow.
Yeah.
Throughout these three.
Let's all just stay in our lanes, though.
And also in Fallen Kingdom, there's the usual problem that we said. You don't know how many dinosaurs are there.
Yeah.
And so to have a whole auction of dinosaurs, and then the last half hour is just with one dinosaur, and that's it, because the other ones are in the cage underneath it, the house, whatever it was.
It's a big house.
Yeah. It's kind of disappointing because you say, I want to see more dinosaurs rather than this thing that arrives and creeps and everything. Yes, there are great images.
That was the Indoraptor.
But, yeah, the indoor raptor, yes.
I laughed at that more than I should. I wonder if that's why they named. I mean, hell, we have unobtainium that exists in this world.
True.
The raptor's going to be indoors. It's an raptor.
Then again, unobtainium is called unobtainium because it can't be obtained.
This is why we're here. Unobtainium. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. That's the only reason.
What do you call this material?
Well, its real name has 37 syllables. I call it unobtainium.
Yeah. Unobtainium. Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're like, oh, we just found this substance that happens to be called this prior.
I guess
we're going to call it this because it's so hard to get. So as much as I have made that joke a million times,
I guess that's a fair point.
There's justification because we, as humans, name everything. Yeah. So.
Ellie Statler.
Alan Grant.
But it's odd. At least the first Jurassic World ends with this apotheosis of the pterodactyl, and then
all the dinosaurs team up, fight. Yes. The Mosasaurus comes out, big operatic ending.
And granted, eventually it burns down to just like the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex and whatever is the
Mosasaurus
water things Rex. But you have a lot of dino action, and Fallen Kingdom doesn't.
Question: are we going to speak about Dominion during this episode?
Now, eventually, you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right?
Yes. This one of the things that I found it incredibly disappointing. I remember seeing it in the theater. It was the first movie that I saw after you guys saw it, because I went to Italy and then I came back and I went to see it the first day that I came back.
Oh, right. I forgot that.
And I was incredibly disappointed because of all the unnecessary bells and whistles, which are neither bells nor whistles, like the whole story of the little girl who...
Yeah, that's the biggest offense in here.
The biggest offense to this is that this girl is the single reason why we have dinosaurs in the world and is never mentioned in this movie.
I had to.
That I find it annoying, the fact that you say, hey, it's because of her that there is all this chaos.
It is a very interesting point, very directly so.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
You are the reason.
There's no questions
and
about it.
She just comes off like an absolute cunt the entire
And she is,
film.
yes, absolutely. And then there is the whole thing about the locusts that who gives a damn.
But they're big.
They're big, yes, but they're not dinosaur-y.
Well, it's a locust. Mandibles, wings, thorax, but God, the size of it is massive.
The locusts are one of those classic, I'm trying to think of an example where it's something, it's almost like the Ewoks, they've come to become loved, but it's like that classic, and then in the third one they have the what? Like, it's going to become infamous in its own way of like, yeah, in the third one they got locust. In fact, when I think of this thing, when I discuss it, I go right to locust. Locust jumped to my freaking brain.
Because the thing is that if you need the locusts just as the reason why at the end there is a fire, you can come with a better reason than that.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
like-
I get that they're kind of a MacGuffin where you get everyone to the island for that reason, or at least
Yeah.
get our original cast to the island for that reason. But yeah, like the fire at the end and
Because
just,
at the same time, you say if you already have Ian Malcolm in the island, and the other gentleman whose character name I don't remember, but who is also
The assistant?
backstabbing Tim Cook, you don't need the other two characters. They can actually go there, and especially since Ian Malcolm gave them the bracelet that gives access to where the Locusts are, and the other kid knows how the codes of every single door. They could have easily taken the sample themselves without actually bothering. So that is just like, okay, let's say that is fine to have them all together-ish. But then the expertise in dinosaurs virtually doesn't come into play ever.
Locusts, altered with Cretaceous-era DNA.
Yeah, that's not my field.
Yeah, but if these things continue to multiply, we're talking about cascading system-wide effects, Ian.
And they are the leading experts in dinosaurs. They're talking about locusts.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember, which I genuinely don't, if it was announced before,
Locusts?
Dominion is coming, that they're getting the original cast back? Because another interesting parallel with the Star Wars trilogy is I believe Star Wars and this were supposed to be 1, 2, 3 different directors for each. And what happened, JJ came back for Rise pretty much to be like, oh my God, Rian Johnson actually took creative chances. Everyone is mad. Can you give them the same old slop again? Guy that made Force Awakens $936 million domestically.
What are you talking about?
And then I think Trevorrow came back, and if it wasn't always planned, it feels like they were like, yeah, Fallen Kingdom kind of, the old ones are back, and there's, they're going to be on an island again with the containment center. I would love to know when that was announced, because it really does feel like course correction. And like I said, the bigger question here, why does Hollywood only make remakes and sequels and reboots? Look at the bank account. You people are why. You people are why. We are why. Any dumbass that made this $1 billion movie is the reason why. It has nothing to do with them. They are a business. The blood is all on our collective hands because we show up to see this
Mateo
stuff.
bought the DVD.
Oh my God,
And it took it to the
Mateo,
theater.
it's sitting right there on full camera view.
He doubled down.
Yes.
He's a completionist, though. It's part of his passion in life. He even has the Daniel Craig Bonds, and he thinks that guy's an ugly monkey.
I have Son of Pink Panther with Roberto Benigni. That took me a
Ugh.
lot.
Ha! That felt good.
God, I even just say, ugh, because Mateo, I don't even know about the man, but the vicarious disgust that Mateo has for that dancing clown.
Ah! That felt good.
Yes.
So I would be curious to know when that decision was made, and if it literally was, let's scramble to get this back. And like I said, I am fascinated by the higher audience reception because apparently they did not like Kingdom. It works. It works. You can say whatever you want. This dumb stuff works.
Wow, this day.
Okay. Okay. It's cool. We're good. It's gone.
Really quick, we have like 4 minutes left. Do you want to talk about like specifics about the movie that we just watched?
Really? I feel like we have been because
We're talking about it in very
well.
Scope.
It's Trite
This
Nites.
is This is a great 150 movies hidden in a 2 hours and 20 movie minutes movies.
Probably the best way to accurately describe it. There is good stuff in here.
Yes, but you could have chopped a bunch of unnecessary thing. You could have done the whole Locusts thing much shorter.
It could have been a small point. Because it's not a bad seed to get the plot progressing and trigger, okay, something's up with Biosyn. They're doing something to this to take kind of global domination of the world's food supply.
Well, that's the thing, man. I think by harping on those things, that pretty much the only thing we're leaving out is just the basic dinosaur blueprint. We harped on Macy. We harped on
the bisexual pilot. That's not even bisexual in the movie.
Okay, so there are a couple.
He said it's a character plot point.
There are a couple things I wanted to Google to make sure they weren't figments of my imagination. Colin did say the Giganotosaurus was like the Joker and just wants to watch the world burn.
What? Why?
And,
what?
And
what?
our oh my god, I'm so sorry. I forget her name in the movie and her name in real life.
Pilot?
But the bisexual pilot, I looked it up to make sure I wasn't misremembering this. She did say, no, my character is bisexual. I was like, okay, well, let's dissect the woke hype. Does it actually come into play in the movie whatsoever? She said it
would
did.
it be more impactful if it's just, oh, she's just a bisexual character, but it's not a prominent plot point? She just happens to be bisexual?
Yeah, but
they live among us.
But the thing is that if I didn't look that up, there's nothing in the movie to indicate that.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. She maybe felt good about doing it herself, like, hey, my character's bisexual. Like, okay, that's fine. Give your character some lore, strengthen your character, build up the...
bring it up. We got to go... Yeah, you're bisexual, okay?
That helps you kind of flesh out your character better, but it might not be needed in the movie. There's
Owen, Claire, this plane's going down. We got to act fast. FYI, I do either one of you. Jump!
Because she does have the line when she says to Owen...
You really love her, huh?
Yeah.
I get it. I like redheads too.
I like redheads too.
Yeah.
But there's male redheads.
Yeah.
They're in your search history.
But she might be... it might be like, oh, wait, he just mentioned a red-haired woman, so she's mentioning a woman too, but not... I don't know. But what's it's pointless.
But especially because it doesn't come to play, or it's not...
She doesn't use it against the dinosaurs.
No, which are all female.
Yeah, the dinosaurs are homophobic, so she simply starts telling them about her lifestyle, and they back away.
The homophosaurus.
Homophobosaurus.
It's chomp or be chomped.
No, but that's the thing, man. By talking about the main building blocks, these friggin' locusts, the biosyn thing with Dodgson, Macy, that is discussing most of the movie, and the rest of it is just the normal running around with dinosaurs. Which, again, I find, how can I not be? Once the disappointment, like Mateo says, goes away, the scene where the little bird dinosaurs sliding under the ice to hunt them, or the fight between the two biggies, it's base level stuff. That's why these movies keep being made. How could you not enjoy it? It's just, the rest is...
Owen can strangle a dinosaur, can hold another one with a rope. Can go into freezing water and come out unscathed, can crash land with a plane.
I mean, to a degree, that's a discussion of movies, not
Indiana
always.
Jones, like, okay, he can survive anything, but like when he's trying to lasso the dinosaur in the beginning, like, what was your plan once you got it around his neck? Like, how could you on a horse hold back that Persaurus?
It actually wasn't. The dinosaur requested it. He sidled up to Owen. He was like, "You ever hear of David Carradine? I can make it work. I won't die. Just you do the thing for me, and then I'll start slapping him."
Thank God there was a tree stump. That will help him.
He's just mounting it.
Right up his anus.
But yeah, it's just like again, after the disappointment of the first time, I remember, and I remember in the theater I was bored. Just bored.
Bored, like I told you.
Yeah, it's. I was saying to you that Chris and Bryce, they're likable, and I really did like them in World. But when I started watching Kingdom, it almost seems like you don't need to work to make these our main people over the course of a franchise, as much as I do think they work very well in Jurassic World. And even here, I don't hate them. They're both physically attractive. What more do you need? But it's like, I don't know necessarily if you need the connective tissue of this new trilogy to be Claire, Owen, and their clone daughter.
Yeah, you don't, and especially, I've yet to find somebody who says, hey, let's go see Jurassic World Dominion because Chris Pratt is in it.
Well, I think he's definitely got pull.
It definitely has pull, but the stars are the dinosaurs.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
yes.
see that's a good point, because I almost...
And with any IP, you can at least hope that they're going there for the IP and then put newcomers if you want.
Yes. I feel like, and maybe it was the fact that he was hot as emerging as Star-Lord, I do feel like that was more true in World, where part of it is him. He was the new guy. He's the cool raptor guy. I do feel like it kind of buries it more. I don't know. It's strange in the future installments to have us still be focusing on them.
Yes.
It's almost like the pilot. She was pretty good for this installment, but imagine there were 2 more movies that followed her. It's like, I don't know. It feels like Claire and Owen could have been more of a one-off. I do find them likable.
It's the usual them if you do, them if you don't of these movies. If you make a trilogy, what are the odds for these characters to find themselves again in the same situation and again facing dinosaurs and again so it's...
At least with this, they took the idea of conservationists and people who actually cared about how the dinosaurs are going to affect the world. Well, now that they're
In the
least
word.
into it. Yeah,
It has good ideas.
it does. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that your land?
That's the Bennett's corn. The Locusts didn't eat that.
You plant the same seed as the Bennetts?
No. We are independent. They use biosin seed.
It's honestly, we were talking earlier about how the first Jurassic Park is just too damn good and it's very philosophical. At least in trying to do it, there are still some philosophical things here. Believe me, I don't think they translate as I want them to here, but I don't know. Gears are turning.
Yeah.
I hate, and genuinely hate, because that's lazy writing and stuff, that now everybody can lift their hands and it works.
Yeah, way too much.
That's just like
Even
something.
like leave it for Owen and Blue. That's
Yes.
fine. I'll accept
It's their
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Hey! Eyes on me.
We're triangulating.
It was
But he's using with every other dinosaur. Why? Is that
and
just
it works.
a focus,
Also,
a focus point or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, exactly. They made the whole meeting with the dinosaur. Okay, when we raise a hand, you stop. No matter what you're doing.
Funnily enough, I say this only because I have seen footage of Chris Pratt in hospitals with cancer kids doing the hand thing. It did kind of become the thing.
How are the cancer kids going to attack him? They're in a bed. They can barely walk. What's he scared of?
Very nicely done, Matthew.
I mean, no,
That was freaking
that's fine. I mean, that's awesome. But
no, I'm saying I think
that's his thing.
Remember,
but
I couldn't
use it just for Blue.
I couldn't believe Hollywood was ever actually like this in my naivety. But the whole thing with Ray Fisher playing Cyborg, they said he
Hollywood
got
gets
taken
a lot worse than this.
They got taken out by an executive who said, "Listen, man, what was it like? The CEO's son is a big fan of Cyber. He wants to hear him say booyah. If you don't say booyah in the movie, the son," I'm like, wow, it's really that bad. So I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it literally made me be, hey, Owen does this. That's his thing. That was the big thing in the first.
But at least leaving it to Owen.
Yeah, everyone does it in this one.
Yeah, Sam Neill is doing it. The little girl is doing it. The friend.
The dinosaurs are doing it.
The dinosaurs, yes. The friend in Malta is doing it.
We'll do it.
So it becomes one thing that all the dinosaurs.
Sounds like a Buzzy Soda ad. Sam Neill is doing it. The little girl is doing it. Dinosaurs are doing it. Are you drinking Sierra Mist? Well, gentlemen,
it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Nice, nice. Look at the wit of these two. If there's anything else, all right, we round in the corner here, and like I said, I feel like when you focus in on those big annoying elements, it is most of the movie.
And also note to you, we have yet to watch Rebirth.
Yes, and it hopefully looks like a return to form.
What the hell are those? They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Almost in spite of myself, the marketing is getting me excited. It's island-based.
I mean, it looks fun.
It looks fun.
Yes. 10% more locusts.
I am rooting for it. Guys, you do not need, by any stretch of the imagination, to make a genuinely great movie. You just need to do what Jurassic World did. Don't tempt them. You just need to do what Jurassic World did. I believe Jurassic World is genuinely an A+ popcorn thriller. You may say, hey, you have to put it under that umbrella. Fine, but it is fantastic. I think they got that right.
Jimmy Buffett is great in it.
I thought it was just a shop.
Nope.
He's in there
He's
too?
the guy who...
Oh, makes sense.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Well, should we express our feelings on this 6th installment in a mega franchise by throwing these pieces of paper?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, we have to.
Yeah.
We're contractually obligated.
I'm going to try to be fair here because I talked a lot of crap about this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm doing 4 because admittedly the dino scenes did thrill me. I hated it less this time around, but still too much crap, and Maisie needs to get the F out of this series.
Seriously.
Which apparently they are. They're rebooting. There's none of these people in the new Rebirth. So we got ScarJo and Mahershala. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm going to say 4 as well.
Okay.
Mainly because I hated it a lot less this time and found some genuine fun seeing the old cast come back just from that standpoint.
That's why I have to lower it a bit because I almost in spite of myself I had some fun with it this time.
I, on the other hand, go with 4 for the same reason.
Synchronicity. Well,
That's a
guys,
good Police album.
Synchronicity is a good Police album. I don't know. He knows, but you don't know? Okay. I'm going to take the Italian's word, as we always do in this universe.
MaJaMa.
We're looking forward to Rebirth. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? Did you think Fallen Kingdom was worse? Did you think this was worse? Was this actually fun as a fan? What was your favorite one? Are you looking forward to Rebirth? Drop it in the comments. Drop something. Join the discussion. Come on. We're drowning here. We love having you guys. Join the discussion.
Start the discussion.
Start the discussion. Hashtag start the discussion on jams. But from our couch to yours, this was a dinosaur-based jams. Raptor Claw. I got it.
I see.
Okay.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Don't see that every day.
Or ever.
Giganotosaurus. Largest known terrestrial carnivore. You put two apex predators in one valley. Pretty soon there's only gonna be one.